Hey guys, Shawn Ziem, the host for the Webtalk Legends Podcast. This is important. I want you to all understand those that are being on this podcast are sharing their story. They're telling things that happened to them in their past. It might be what they're doing currently, but I would love for you to start implementing some of the ideas that we're talking about in the conversation. Learn from what you are listening to. A lot of you go onto podcasts, you listen to videos, and you just listen. That's great. You're learning things, but you actually have to apply things. So I want to remind each and every one of you, make sure you start doing that. If you're watching us live, please, at least you can hit that like button, drop a comment, hashtag live. If you are an overachiever, drop a comment where you're watching from. And if you, from time to time, put your favorite emoji, a thumbs up, pound, what have you, fire, so that we can keep the algorithm going. And at the end, don't forget to hit that share button. We appreciate each and every one of you staying with us, sharing it, and being valued as far as we love each and every one of you. What's going on, George? And we bring him in here. What's up, George? How you doing, man?
What's up, my man? How we doing, brother? I'm great.
Doing excellent. I appreciate you taking some time out of your day to, drop some value. This is
absolutely.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. Appreciate it. And man, I want to start off first I like the background. What do you got going on back there, man?
So I just kind of designed the space and just the things that just kind of speak to me, right? So the first one, I grew up. I'm 43, so I grew up in the '90s hip hop, with Biggie and stuff. So it was all a dream. I got Biggie over here, just things that speak to me that just kind of give me, the symbol of, the tiger, strength. Some of my fancy side, I got the little Louis stuff here. There's some Nike, some Gucci stuff, like there's a Kobe thing, just kind of all the things that kind of speak to me and just kind of put me in a just good energy space. That's kind of, I want to just create a cool spot. So when I kind of do content like this, go on other podcasts, just so I feel in my own element.
That is awesome, man. I like that. You really took some time to really think about it too. And it's nice. And I want to shout you out, man. I applaud you. That's awesome.
Cool.
Because
I like that.
A lot of people don't, I think it's important. I change up my background. I have the baseball in the background. I have some different, looks. It's important to change it up just from time to time. But I like what you said as far as it gets you into a good energy, good mood. That's good. I'm going to come back to that.
Cool.
Before we even get into it, who are you and what do you do, George?
I appreciate that. Yeah. So again, thanks for having me. My name is George Siderias. I'm a lifelong Bergen County resident. I have 3 beautiful kids. My oldest is Brooklyn. She's 7. My middle one is Madison. She is 4. My little guy, Jax, just turned 2. My business. So it's interesting. I've been in the financial services space for about a decade. So that is has been my main business really since I got out of school. I did run a couple of other businesses in the meantime. We might be able to get into some of that. But what I've also started to add into the financial services space is I've really seen that a lot of what my clients need not only is the help and guidance in, hey, like where do we put our money? How do we plan? How do we build the foundation? It's everything else around it. It's mindset. It's, are you feeling confident? We're saving money for the future, so we need to be here, right? We can't, right? That concept of, hey, I'm saving money for the future. Well, if we're not taking care of our mental health, our physical health now, we're not going to be there. So I just recently rolled this out, my just coaching business, which is F3, and I have the logo here, and it encompasses me, my family, fitness, and finance. So that's my overall coaching business, and it's really helping people develop the skills, the discipline, the mental toughness, just understanding how to be a better partner, a better spouse, to do those things, because everything ties in. The things that you're doing, you want to go get a promotion, make more money. Well, you want to feel confident walking into your boss saying, hey, I deserve this. And then it all ties into it. The more money we make, the more time we can spend with our family. So I've essentially said, people have been asking for this for a long time. I just kind of didn't know where to fit it in. And then I'm just doing that. So I essentially have two companies. It's my standalone financial services company, which I have to keep separate just because of compliance and all my licensing and all that fun stuff that we have to deal with. And then it's just my, my day-to-day coaching clients, and a lot of them intertwine because they need all of it. So that's kind of where I am right now. Again, I've been through a lot in my life. I know I sent you my bio, and it's just crazy to think about. So I'm just now this month celebrating 18 years as a cancer survivor. So at 24 years old, I was diagnosed with stage 3 non-Hodgkin's lymphoma.
Wow.
So that was the first pillar of my life that I've had to overcome. And then I basically just kept surviving, just kept evolving, getting stronger through, the real estate crash of 2008 and 2009, changing industries, just evolving, learning from relationships that just ended and those things. So I stand here today, the best version of me. And that is the most important thing. And that's what I want to be able to share with everyone, that it doesn't matter what you've gone through and where you're at. You can change it like that. So that's a little bit about me. I'm going to turn it back to you, and we can get into whatever details you want here.
Dude,
that's probably a lot to dive in here.
Great story, man. Great content, man. I applaud you. 18 years, man. What exactly is that cancer of?
So that is a blood cancer. So essentially a form of leukemia, and kind of falling into that in that space. So the stage 3 diagnosis for that type of cancer, unlike breast cancer and some of those other stages, the stage 3 was in how many spots in my body the lymph nodes were swollen. So it was in my chest, abdomen, and groin. So those are 3 areas where the lymph nodes were swollen because of the cancer diagnosis.
Got you. I know some things about the lymph nodes, and with I have my daughter. I have a Madison, but I also have a Natalie who had a liver transplant.
Okay.
And she was 4 months old, and we had some times, and when we brought her home, she had 15 medicines we had to give her. It used to take us like a half hour to give her 15 medicines, and then some of the medicines caused her lymph nodes to enlarge. So we had to go to cancer doctors to rule things out.
Okay.
TLD and all that stuff. So it's definitely something that I know firsthand.
Yes.
I know the struggle. I know the challenges that happened. And I appreciate you sharing that, because a lot of people need to understand there's some darkness that people go through, and what were some ways that you were able to deal with what you were going through when you were younger? Was it very difficult early on? Did you have a good support system?
So yes, had the support system, my mom and dad. And again, at 24, I think we all thought and think, for the younger listeners, that we're Superman or Superwoman, right, at that time. So it was, my mentality was I needed to really be stronger for my mom, my dad, and my family. Because now, and this, going through what you went through with your daughter, when we have kids, man, it's all about them. And that feeling, like, I can't even imagine, right? You say, hey, we need to do a liver transplant, right, at 4 months old. So my mentality was I could handle it. I knew I could handle it because there was unknown, but I knew I had to be stronger because I knew my mom and dad were suffering internally more than anything. So that was my mentality. I didn't really get to a dark place then. I feel like, looking back, I didn't really have a chance to. It was like I kind of got into a routine of, okay, here's treatment, here's how you feel, and you just kind of got to do it. So I never for me, I know there's other people, and maybe I think it was probably a blessing because it was just me. Right. I think if that was maybe me like 10 years later, maybe when I was starting to have a family, I probably would have felt differently about it. But I think the strength at that time was I was just young, and I'm going to call it dumb, because I just didn't know. I was like, all right, we'll just run through a brick wall. And I knew I had to be tough. So yeah. But the mental toughness, though, I've started to even dive more into that, even just recently with all the things that I've been trying to do. Like, I feel like our society and our culture is creating weak individuals.
Yes.
where everything is easy. It's easy to order food on our phone so we don't even have to leave, right? Just everything is order ahead. I can go on Amazon and get something the next day. Temperature control. Everything has become easy. My life has not been easy. So I want my kids to know that, yeah, maybe when we're young, there's not those things going on, or maybe life could be easy. I've just started to challenge myself with other things. Like, I'd never ran before. I've just gotten into running marathons. So I ran New York City in 2022. I just ran Chicago.
It's awesome.
I'm doing Boston, Chicago, and New York in 24. Because I just want to see how far I can push to build this. Because I don't care what we're doing. We're raising a family. It's hard, right? We're having issues with our partners. Things are hard. We're starting a business. It's hard. We're in a meeting. It's hard. Why are we not teaching that to our kids now and building that now for us as adults? So that's kind of where my message is let's just start to do hard things. Let's overcome those things. Let's challenge ourselves so we can, again, be the example for our kids so that we know life is going to hit them with things. Some sooner, some later, but everyone's going to get hit with something when they're not expecting it.
Well said. And I agree with you. I'm a full-time teacher as well. And I know a lot of people in the world today, teaching's changing, education's changed. People today, they're all about pushing, having fun. Oh, you have to make things more fun for your kids. They're maybe getting bored. And it doesn't happen too much in my class. I'm in phys ed, health, and driver's ed. But I know that's what they're preaching out there. And it's like, wait a minute. You said it exactly. You can get an instant gratification, instant things, text messages, emails. You can go on YouTube. You can watch. They waste their time. And they don't understand how to be bored. When you're bored, that's how you become more creative and you come up with ideas to freaking make more money, to have more time on your hands. And that allows you the freedom down the road. But if you can't understand being bored, you're missing out on a huge thing when you get older.
It's taking away the creativity. And you said that perfectly. That time alone is really where you can grow, where you can start to journal, write ideas out, dream. What do I want to do? Sitting on the pad is not being bored. They're being stimulated by things that don't matter. So yes, I agree. We are setting our kids up for failure.
Yes.
1000%. So for me, it's let's do the hard things. Let's try a new tumble class. Let's try this. Let's try this sport. It doesn't really matter. Let's hop out and let's just go run a race. I don't care if you have to walk it or run it. So I've always done that, Shawn. And it really started after the cancer part. Like I'd always been training in the martial arts, and then I made a career change. And I said, you know what? I said, I'm going to see how far I can push this. And I got into the cage and I had 3 amateur MMA fights because I just wanted to prove that I could do it. The win-losses ultimately don't matter.
Right.
And I tell people when they watch UFC on TV, I said, yeah, you can watch it and critique, but you have no idea what it takes to step into a cage, lock the door behind you with someone that wants to kill you.
Yeah. Yes.
So on the days that a client doesn't show, meeting doesn't go well, right? Whatever happens, it doesn't really matter to me. I can just say, okay, I won, I lost. What did I learn from it? Let's do something the same way. And I've done that for every part of my business. I've tried to, a couple of years ago, build a massive financial services team. And I got too big too fast. I started over hiring and I was like, okay, I didn't know. I failed, but I learned so much only 3 years later about how to do it the right way. So that's again, I've learned and I've grown and gotten to where I am because of all the times that I failed. But you're right. Yeah, I had fun, but I tried things. I didn't have fun just staring at, the TV and watching Netflix and things like that.
You said it as far as failure. A lot of people, you need to fail. There's a lot of failures. I mean, I had a divorce in my past.
Me
I've
too.
had things happen. You learn, like you said, you reflect on it. And people are like, why would you get married again? And I'm like, why would you not? If you learn from and reflect on what happened, you will find, and I have found, and I had one child with my prior, and I have 3 with my wife that I'm madly in love with. But it's something that people have that stigma. Oh, it's going to happen again. Can it happen? Sure, it could happen. But if you go into it that way, you start thinking that way, and you have that mindset, it's going to happen. You're manifesting it.
And I'll give you an example of that. So and this is where things really started to shift for me. Prior to 2020, I never really had a coach. I was always like, hey, I could just do it on my own. I could do it. And then I finally changed. It was right before COVID. I hired a coach, started to dive more into my business. COVID actually gave me an opportunity to dive more into that because I had so much more time.
Yeah.
But then I started to see, okay, you know what? I've always had a coach. I always had a martial art coach, a football coach, a nutrition coach, a CrossFit coach, all of these people. But I started to also get into masterminds and other groups of highly successful people. And you bring up the marriage part because all of those people I saw, because the environment that I was in, the typical financial services world, it's old white men, right? That's our industry. Old white men that worked 20 hours a day and their wife just stayed home. That's what I was around. What I started to see going to these masterminds is the importance that they put on that partner, a spouse, really being a partner, date nights, all of those things like that. I didn't know anything about that. The importance of the time that you're putting into that relationship. My dad came here from Europe and he worked 20 hours a day. He didn't know any better. My parents didn't do date night. I didn't grow up at night. My dad was working, building a business. That's what I grew up knowing. So I only learned from that. I've learned so much just from being around other better people about, okay, you know what? Here's what I want a relationship to look like. Here are the things that those successful people are doing in every area to keep growing. So yeah, that's great, man, that you've learned from a failure and been able to take those things and grow it to the next level. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, you definitely have to. And I like that. The masterminds, a lot of people are afraid to spend money. They think, what is my ROI on things? And sometimes you just have to, and that's what kids today, they think they can't do things for nothing. Like doing going out a networking event or putting and sponsoring things. Why would I sponsor? Why would I run a marathon? People say. The kids will be like, do you get paid? I'm like, the only way you get paid is if you win it. And if you're not running under 200, 2 hour, you're not going to get paid. Oh, well, then why would I do it? And I was talking about marathons. I have a friend of mine that does ultra marathons, like 100-mile shit, like insanity. Ron Maver, and the goal is to get to the end, no matter what. You don't run 26.2 miles. You don't run that like at all when you're training. You're running a 13 here and there. You might a half. You might run, but you're never running a full. And it's mindset in that running the entire time. So you're setting yourself up, but it's all the he said, or you're the devil on the side saying you could stop, and you pushing through it and getting it to the finish. Well, I did it.
And it goes back, and it's interesting that you said about, hey, I don't want to spend money. How quickly am I going to get a return? It just comes back to instant gratification.
Yes.
It's like, okay, I'm going to spend this. And here's the crazy part. You don't have to spend any money. We have this tool that literally every single person that runs the biggest masterminds out there, they're giving you all their stuff for free. They're giving it to you. You can go buy a book. The problem is you don't want to do the work.
Yeah.
That's the problem. So what I've started to cultivate now with my coaching program, it's all about the work and the discipline. That's the foundation of anything we want to get to. Are we waking up the same time every single day? Are we getting our workouts in? Are we giving to ourselves first so we can give to the rest of the world? And it's not the instant results. Yes, when I had a goal last year of running a sub 4-hour marathon. That was my goal. But when I started, like when I saw and I hired a coach and I saw my training plan, I was like,
whoa.
I was like, okay. But then all I did is I just focused on that day. What is my schedule? What am I doing? Give it all I got. And there were some times where I wouldn't hit the split times. There were times where I didn't feel good, but it didn't matter. And I got asked a lot because I spoke it out there about what my goal was. And then as I got closer, people started saying, well, what if you don't hit the sub 4 hours? And my response was, it doesn't matter because I did all of the work. I didn't miss a workout. I cut out alcohol. I didn't miss one recovery session, one meal. Everything was perfect. So I knew when I stepped to that starting line, I did all the work. Whatever happened, happened. And I hit the goal. Now, that just happened to be for that one. There's going to be other things that I'm not going to hit, but I did the work. I'm going to continue to fail. It's inevitable.
Right.
But it comes down to the work. And that's the part that our society is missing. We're missing the boat. People, I know, because you're also in the insurance business also. Yep. So you've been in it for a long time?
Yeah, since
right?
2006. Yep.
Yeah, okay, so that's a long time, right? So if you're still in it, that's a long time. People come into the business and go, "Oh, I just want to make 6 figures. I want. Oh, there's the top advisor, top producer. I just want to do that." Well, that's not where we came in. 10 years ago, 15 years ago, we did the work. We did the work to where we want to get. So I have these young people that come on my team and they see me now. They're like, "Oh, well, George doesn't do night meetings." Yeah.
There's a reason.
Right. Because I did it for 10 years, 5 nights a week. I did those networking events. I did all that. I'm just working in a different way now. So I think we've just gotten away from it. And it's starting young. It's starting really young, where it's okay to quit. You don't have to do this. I will not allow my kids to even remotely let that enter. Like today, my middle one is starting a tumbling class. She was getting signed up. I don't care if on Tuesday she was like, "Yeah, I want to go," and Wednesday she doesn't want to go. She's going. She's going. She'll be okay. She'll cry. We all cry. We're good. I know she's going to excel. That stepping to the starting line, right? That hitting that button to open up that LLC, right? To whatever it is. It's scary. Life is scary. We got to do it, but we're missing the work.
I like the process. That's my important. I like the day in, day out. I am 47. I like to do a lot of things myself. I teach. I have my insurance business. I have a fitness business. Okay. I'm involved with I'm a union president, for my local. I used to be a baseball coach. I gave that up just because I was more passionate than the kids were. And people are like, how do you have time to do that? And why do you want to do it? But I was able to. The calendar is very important, being organized. But I like what you said as far as the old way of sales and entrepreneurs is work so we can make all this money. I don't care about the money. I want to have more time. So my time is important for my kids. And when I am home, I'm home. And I answer it on my phone once in a while. And I'll be like, "Listen, can I call you back tomorrow?" I know you have to answer your phone. So I'll answer it and just let them know, "Look, I'm with my family, with my kids, with my wife. Can we talk about this tomorrow?" And everybody is fine with that. But everyone thinks that you want to work all these hours. I don't want to work. I hate working. I like to live, and I work so I can live.
Yeah, and you want to do the things that light you up, right? You want to do right. You want to be with your kids. You want to do those things, but schedule is important. You can do it because you built the discipline to do it.
Right.
If you don't have the discipline, having all the free time, you're not getting anything done. There's so many people that quote unquote work 9 to 5 or 9 to 9. They're not getting anything done.
Right.
So for like my day starts at 4 a.m. every day. 7 days a week. I don't miss. And people are like, wow, even on the weekends, what does it matter? I don't care if it's Saturday or Tuesday. It's another day. Same time, same routine. My stuff gets done. My work gets done. We're ready to rock and roll. So when my kids want to go to tumble or they have gymnastics during the week, I'm picking them up because it's time blocked on my calendar as well. That's my time for them. And those are the things that I've learned, even just more recently, working with other coaches, understanding that it's all about my time because we're not going to be here forever, even though we think we are. We're not going to be. We're on for a short time, and I've been through it. But I've forgotten though. Even going through that 18 years ago, I've still forgotten it. It's like, okay, we're just going to wake up tomorrow and everything is going to be okay. And I started to just say, my only focus is today. Let's absolutely crush it, do everything that we can, and tomorrow's another day. I don't worry about next Friday. Next Friday comes, we'll deal with next Friday. I don't pre-think, overthink, negative thought. Like there's no reason for it because it takes away time from your partner, from your kids, and really being in the moment. We're thinking about things that don't matter.
I mean, it's just full circle how we started this as far as having an environment, a space, just like you have set up there to keep yourself in that mindset, keep yourself in that positivity so that you have that and it exudes. You could feel the passion from you when you're talking. You're into helping people. You're into taking people to the next level. And that's the power with keeping yourself fresh as far as your mind. Working out is not just to look good. It's here. It's the
all up here.
Lever. It's allowing you to focus on you because if we can't get ourselves right, we're not going to be able to help anybody else. So it's a powerful thing that we've found out, and we're trying to help others do the same.
Absolutely trying to do the same.
And George, any final thoughts you can help those that are out there with entrepreneurship, sales, mindset?
So I would say the most important thing is you need to build you. And you need to build a routine. A routine will keep you on track. But you got to start just focus on you. You need to build discipline. It will be used in every area of your life. Build a routine. Teach your kids a routine. Show them. Stop being, again, the mom, dad, whatever, that keeps saying, I'm going to, this is the year, right? We're coming up on January 1st. This is the year that I'm going to lose weight and you're still out of shape. Oh, this is the year I'm going to take my business to the next level and you can't take your kids on vacation. Stop saying you're going to do things without creating the results. So it starts with you. You need to build a routine first and build the discipline to start to build in all those other areas. And that's what it comes down to. And use the resources that are out there. You have money, hire a coach. I don't care who you hire. Hire someone that aligns with you and the things that you want to get done. You have the money. We spend money on everything. And coaching programs are not that crazy. Right. You don't have to join masterminds that are 10, 20,000. There's ones that are $49 a month. You probably spend that on Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts, right? Or fast food. And if not, listen to podcasts. They're free. There's information out there. And you said it at the beginning when I was in backstage. Don't just listen. Take action. One or two things. You know what? Jot that thing down. I'm going to implement it because that's what I need to do. I need to focus on my nutrition more. Okay, where do I start? Use your phone for that. How do I build a nutrition plan? You can do it all on your own, but you got to do the work. Starts with you.
That's it, man. I appreciate you, man. This is fantastic. Lots of golden nuggets. This is important for those, like we're going to keep reminding you, take action, try different things, fail, see how it goes for you, and definitely reach out to George. All his contact information is in the description. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, like this video. Share this video because we want to help get more people in front of George as well. And we want to make sure that if you have anything that you for financial services, you want to get coached, you want to just have a conversation because you loved what we were talking about today, reach out to George because it's powerful. This medium is you get the true person when you have video and the audio instead of just the podcast. As far as the audio ones, it's difficult for me. I like seeing people.
Yeah.
So it's a something I believe it's powerful if you use the knowledge that you learn. And George, again, thank you so much for being with us. Stick around for one moment. Everyone else, we hope you have an awesome rest of your day.